Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 2. We could only dream, guys. We could only dream. We could only dream. Were we too carried away? Were we asking for too much for this team to win 4 in a row? Were we expecting too much of this manager to win 4 in a row? 5 in a row was a stretch, especially the 5th game would have been against Tottenham, which would never have been an easy game in any season with any manager under any form that this team would have been under. So unfortunately, the guy who needs to cut his hair after 5 games, unfortunately, you might have to reset that clock. You might have to reset that clock because the match yesterday, we saw a few of the red flags that we've seen all of last season, or most of last season, throughout Amorim's time at Manchester United, and also leading into the season as well. And a lot of that comes to decision making, game management. I'm a little bit tired just because it's not been a great weekend. Manchester, obviously, we did not lose. We drew. A draw is always better than a loss. And we could have lost that game, just as much as we could have won that game. I think both teams had their fair chance at taking the lead. Obviously, Forest, we had the lead. We first took the lead from a Bruno corner, Casemiro, the usual Casemiro in the box. I said this the same time last year that this is why we need players like Casemiro. It's because players like Casemiro, they come in, they're very handy in set pieces, especially in the box. You know, this season Maguire has also stepped up this season as well. But overall, Casemiro is that player that we need in these moments. Just like how Real Madrid used to have the Sergio Ramoses, Arsenal right now this season, Gabriel is just unstoppable in the box. So players like Casemiro once again gets his goal, and you know, he showed again his quality. You know, Casemiro has really been shown his quality. The reason I said I was tired is because it's not been a good weekend. We draw to Forest with so much anticipation that we were going to win this game, especially against the club that has been going through so much transition this season. It's because the Toronto Blue Jays lost the World Series last night, unfortunately, Game 7 in Toronto. So that against LA Dodgers. So this was very disappointing. Toronto hadn't won the World Series since 92-93, over 30 years, over 32 years. So this would have been a great weekend overall, even if Manchester United disappointed me. Would have really been nice to see the Blue Jays take that title, but hopefully, I just want to say congratulations to that team. Trey Savage, Jimenez. Really great to have seen Toronto stand up to the plate and take it to Game 7 against the defending world champions in LA Dodgers. But anyways, I digress. Back to Manchester United. So obviously Casemiro gets his goal, we go on top, and then the game changes on its head. As usual, we start to see the same patterns, start to defend again. Forest start to gain confidence. They start to gain confidence. They start to get the ball, and then I think this is where I think the game really changed was the Douglas Luiz, because before this game, the midfield had always been our issue. You know, the Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes midfield had always been an issue, and Forest from last season had a pretty good midfield. You know, the likes of Elliot Anderson, Gibbs White, and then now they added Douglas Luiz. It was never going to be an easy game. These guys are midfield maestros, right? And I think, honestly, the Douglas Luiz injury really flipped the game on the head, because they brought in the captain Yates, who is very physical. I always say Yates is kind of like the McTominay profile, just a bruiser. You know, you're very trusted, hardworking Premier League, just bruiser. And you could tell the moment he stepped on that pitch, there was a bit more aggression from Forest. There was a bit more, Gibbs White was able to get a little bit more freedom to move up the pitch, to start dictating the game. Gibbs White, I'll come to that in a second, the whole Gibbs White. I'll come to that in a bit. But you started to see how they started to picking up the balls in the right spots, winning the ball high up the pitch. And I think that really changed the game, and they started to get behind our midfield. And our defense started to become under a lot of pressure. And Manchester United, we don't have, when teams start to come at us. But the one thing that Forest did, and I want to give Sean Dyche credit for, is they were resolute going forward. They were not sitting back. I know some people were thinking, oh, Forest is just sitting back for the win. No, they were taking every chance that they got, because that's what they were last season, counter-attacking. Defended really well behind the ball, but then once they got the ball, they were very effective in how they moved the ball up the pitch. Versus Manchester United, we get the ball and we got to make 20 passes behind at the back first before somebody else gets the ball. Then we pass it back, and then we kind of reshuffle, and then hopefully hit a long ball. Right? And this is where attacks break down. This is where we let teams reset. And so that was it. And Forest obviously came back with their goal. Because they were pressing, and you knew that they were going to score, because they do have clinical players. They do have clinical players at Forest. This is my issue, right? Once again, Amorim, game management, right? I had nothing wrong with the lineup. Obviously, we had a really strong performance against Brighton, and as usual, we have one game a week, so it only makes sense that you want to maybe. Give these players another time and say, hey, Sesko, you did well. Cunha, you did well. And Mbeumo, you did well. Let's go out there and let's get this win again. And I get that. But once you start to see how the game is changing, 50th minute, 60th minute, Sesko had a good game. But did he deserve to finish that game? Did that game need maybe a Xerxes to come on? Because the midfield was isolated. We were getting no action in the midfield whatsoever, right? Cunha had to be dropping so deep to receive the ball, and that's not Cunha's game. And we know Cunha, right? Every time he gets the ball, he has to shimmy and try to dribble 3 to 5 players. It's not effective on the halfway line. That's not effective on the halfway line. Yes, we won a couple of free kicks here and there, but those free kicks were not as they were not dangerous free kicks that we could have converted things out of. Especially we're not an Arsenal that are a great set piece taking team. So winning those kind of free kicks on the halfway line doesn't really help us as much, right? So, and then Sesko was very isolated up top. Every time the ball came to him, he did well. This is not criticizing. This is not me criticizing Sesko. He did pretty well. Like, he took his shots. You could tell he was confident. The game just did not suit their style because of the way we played it. So he was very isolated at the back. And this was maybe a game where, obviously, give him his chance, give him his 55, 60 minutes, and then say, you know what, maybe this could have been a game for Xerxes, Joshua Xerxes. Joshua Xerxes, as much as you don't like him, some fans might not feel or like how he plays, his demeanor, whatever it may be. Xerxes is the kind of striker that he likes to come deep to receive the ball. He's one of our best ball controlling players. He has one of the best ball controls on the team. Hands down, Xerxes. One of the best ball controllers on the team. He could have come in a little bit deep, received the ball under pressure, and this would have allowed the likes of Mbeumo to be free. because Mbeumo was getting locked up. Cunha was always found was lost in the crowd. Cunha was always lost in the crowd, right? Cunha's lost in the crowd. This would have allowed for these guys to have spread out, to have gone forward. You know, that's the kind of game. And maybe, 60th minute, Cass was doing well. Obviously, we know Bruno Fernandes is never going to get taken off, but this was like another game for Manu. We needed control in the midfield. Once again, he brought in Dorgu. He brought in Dorgu for Diallo, which, fine. Diallo was having a stinker, and we all saw it from the first minute. We're like, you know what? Diallo looks off today. He hasn't been great this season. He hasn't been great for a while, but yesterday's game, you could tell that he was off it. And great call, took him off. But why did we need to bring in Mazraoui when we needed a goal? We had just scored a second goal. I'm not sure if that's sorry, my apologies. The substitution for Mazraoui came before the Ahmad goal. Okay, after the Ahmad goal, you would think, okay, the Ahmad goal, let's try to freshen it up. Let's bring in Manu. Let's try to gain some more control on the ball. Let's gain some more control in the midfield. Bring in Manu. Bring in Xerxes. Let's have more ball control. No. He just kept the same profile on the pitch to keep recycling the same thing. And yes, we almost got away with it with Ahmad's second volley. We almost got away with it. But at the end of the day, bringing on only two wing backs or two defenders or two defensive players, however you wanna title those positions, was very unfortunate. And this is once again the red flags that we continue to see with Amorim's system. We could talk about Sunderland. Let's face it, yes, Chelsea lost to Sunderland, and we can all brag and say, oh yeah, but but Chelsea lost to Sunderland, and so what? At the end of the day, the Sunderland that we've seen all season wasn't the same Sunderland that we played. And yes, great, and great, we won that game. We beat a Liverpool. We already know how our team plays against the top six. We show up against the top six, so that was nothing surprising, right? And then we had it was nothing surprising, and then we had Liverpool lost. How many? Get 6 games in a row, 6 matches in a row. So it wasn't the best of Liverpool that we got, anyways. And there were moments in that game that we could have lost that game. We could have, a couple of those Gakpo hitting the post, we could have lost it too. So I'm not trying to rehash the last couple of weeks, but this is where the fans that were all about, I told you so, give him time. It was just too soon. It was just too soon for people to start saying it was too, I told you so, give the manager time. It was just too soon, guys. And then I just wanted to say, Ahmad with his goal, what a fantastic goal, Ahmad, man. This kid, this same time last year, I wondered why Ten Hag refused to play Ahmad. And this guy, he might not come up with a lot of goals in a season, but he's your classic midfielder who, yes, he might not come up with a goal every game, but when he comes up with a goal, it's special. This kid is special, man. This kid has only played a season and a quarter for Manchester United, and this guy has a catalog of goals in big games. Catalog of goals that you can keep replaying for years to come. That will keep replaying for years to come, guys. Ahmad is a special kid, and we need to put some respect on that. We need to start putting respect on Ahmad's name. Enough is enough. And you saw Garnacho sitting on the bench for Chelsea, but meanwhile, Ahmad couldn't get ahead of Garnacho at Manchester United. Let that sink in, guys. Let that sink in. My last point was about Cunha. When we talk about number 10s, if you saw the way Gibbs White played that game yesterday, that is a classic number 10. Tidy, keeping it simple, vision, control, execution. I love Cunha. And if Cunha is going to wear the number 10 shirt for Manchester United, he needs to simplify the game. There's going to be games against Liverpool, your cities, where yes, you got to puff your chest, you got to take on men, you got to take on players and do this and do that. But in most games, man, you got to be simple. Receive the ball, look up, lay a pass. Move, lay a pass. Look up, change, switch the play. That's what I want to start seeing from Cunha. I don't want to be seeing this every time you get the ball, head down, trying to dribble out, always trying to dribble out of the situation. For us to progress as a team, this has to happen without number 10, especially if Cunha is going to be the number 10. I want to see what Gibbs White gives. That's the kind of performances I want. And I know Cunha is Brazilian. It's a different profile of player. And I get it. I'm not saying that he should stop dribbling. I love to watch Cunha dribble. But his style of dribbling is not effective on the halfway line. And this is where maturity comes in. This is where experience will come in, hopefully, and coaching. For him to realize that you need to simplify your game, Cunha. Simplify it. That's all I had to say, guys. But once again, another weekend. I would say 2 points dropped. It could have been 3 points, but I just want to say I'm happy that the players did not give up. They did not give up. They kept fighting. They kept pushing. And this draw, I would say, was more on the manager. Just like how when we win, it's all about the manager. So at this point in time, this draw is going to be on the manager. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about the game. Did you think that we're overreacting with the substitutions, the performance, the game management? What are your thoughts, and what would you like to see changed? You know, like what players do you want to see give him more opportunities on this team? I know we only have one game a week till the new year, but players need to be warmed up. Players need to... We're going to get injuries, guys. We're going to get injuries, and we don't want to be having a cold Xerxes after 3-4 months of barely playing coming on to be the main guy for us if Sesko was injured. That's not right. That's going back to the Ole times. You know, this team needs to be rotated. They need to be warmed up. And once again, we need to see more, Amorim. We need to see more. But anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. Have yourself a great week. Until next time, United.